necessarily know, but Greek. They changed the count. I don't know Gregorian versus what other count. I don't know. It's a Latin calendar.
Sounds weird. I don't even know what it is now. Gosh, I was wondering that.
Testing. Okay.
Was that on the whole time?
No, I have them on purpose so that I can.
About ready to hear that part.
You.
It's on again.
It's on again. Mine too. Stop. I'm turning them on so that we can be ready.
Well, we're not. We're in the middle of the
No,
conversation.
it's 6:59.
Oh, I didn't know that part in there. Okay, never mind.
Good evening, everyone. This is the City of Dania Beach regular meeting on March the 31st. It is 7:00 p.m. and I call this meeting to order. City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Yes, Mayor. Mayor Davis,
Here.
Vice Mayor Salvino,
Here.
Commissioner Llewellyn,
Here.
Commissioner Romoli,
Here.
Commissioner Ryan,
Here.
City Attorney Bootsas,
Here.
City Manager Garcia,
Here.
Mayor Yamakorn.
Thank you so much, City Clerk. And at this time, would you please bow your heads for a moment of silence? Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Vice Mayor would like to do a song for you all. No, just kidding. All right, next up, we have item 3, presentations and special event approvals. Item 3.1 is Building Department Annual Statistics and Community Rating System Class Improvement by our very own Community Development Department.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners. Eleanor Narina, Community Development Director. With me tonight, I have Shanisa Miranda, our Permitting Office Supervisor. So let's get this presentation going. So under community development, we have 4 divisions. One of them is the building division. I'm going to give some statistics, and then I'll present the commission with the FEMA CRS Class 5 award that we received. So the building division processes building code services. It's conducted in a seamless coordination with the City of Dania Beach staff, Broward County staff, and CAP government staff. So we have 8 disciplines that conduct plan review and inspections to enforce the Florida Building Code, City's Code of Ordinances, and also the Fire Life Safety Codes. We issue permits, certificate of occupancies, process public records requests for businesses and property owners that are requesting existing plans for their homes or their business, surveys, elevation certificates we keep on file. We manage renewals and expired permits. We also process and manage the building safety inspection program, which was previously known as the 40-year certification program. They've enhanced that, so all buildings 3,500 square feet or larger have to provide safety inspection reports for their safety building and electrical systems. We also have the Special Permitting Office, which is an on-demand service for our large projects, the buildings that are being constructed over $1 million, and a lot of the build-outs at Dania Point are also processed through the Special Permitting Office. We also do floodplain management, which is a lot of public outreach and public participation, and the Community Rating System, which is a voluntary program recognizing local and flood mitigation efforts. So this is our year-end review for the last 12 months. Our staff has conducted over 13,000 building inspections. We've issued over 2,600 building permits. We've issued 129 certificate of occupancies. That's for new businesses coming into the city, and also new buildings. Permit extensions and renewals, we've done 1,400. And the building safety inspection program, 56 properties were notified this year, and 32 have come into compliance so far. We work hand in hand with code and compliance to make sure that those inspection reports are submitted on time, and we keep records of that. Code Compliance Division works, like I said, hand in hand with the building code and the building division, and they've conducted over 2,800 inspections related to work without permits, the building safety inspection. We've had some unsafe structures we've had to deem unsafe, and we're taking to the county as well. So this is equivalent to almost $8 million of construction value that we've added to the city's tax roll just this last year.
Wow.
Some large projects that you guys have recognized that have recently got certificate of occupancy. We have City Place, which is an affordable housing project right behind City Hall, 99 new apartment units. We have Griffin Living, which is on Griffin Road. They have, I believe it is 79 units and some retail along the first level that is currently being occupied as well. We have Elevate Apartments, which has 293 new apartment buildings off of East Dania Beach Boulevard, and the Dania Preserve Townhomes, which is almost near completion. They have a total of 67 townhomes, so I think we issued about 60 certificate of occupancies for that project. So we're keeping things moving, as you can see. So this is the CRS. It's FEMA encourages community floodplain management activities that exceed the National Flood Insurance Program requirements. Each participating community is given points for totality of its efforts, and these points determine the classification of the CRS. I have exciting news. We are the first city in Broward County to receive a Class 5 rating.
Yay.
So I want to thank specifically Shanisa Miranda. She is the CRS coordinator, so she manages that, but she works closely with the marketing department, public services, Parks and Rec, everybody to make sure that this is cohesive and we're all working together for the same goal. So what this means for the residents is now they receive a 25% reduction in their flood insurance premiums for every Dania Beach resident in the city.
Nice.
Yes, so we have this plaque to present to the City Commission. We want to show you our dedication to flood preparedness, hazard mitigation, and keeping Dania Beach resilient. So thank you. So thank you very much.
Thank you. That was wonderful news, and great job to all of the departments, especially community development, but getting that 5-star rating and being the first. That's, we like to be the first. So thank you so much.
Yes. Can we get a picture
of your
with
hard
the,
work?
the
Oh,
plaque
please.
and you guys?
You too. Come on up.
Awesome.
That's great news. I just want to know, for residents' sake, how did they take advantage of the 25% discount on flood?
It's automatic, so
It's
the insurance
automatic.
premiums are automatic.
to do
You
anything.
could check your policy. It goes into effect April 1st.
Okay.
So after April 1st, check your policy and make sure you're getting that class 5 25% reduction.
And if they don't,
You can reach out to them, and then they can contact the city if they need verification.
perfect. Thank you so much.
Vote at time.
Yay! Now we can clap.
Good question, Louis.
Thank you. You are in rare form tonight, my son.
Okay, next, thank you so much again, Community Development. Next we have item 3.2, request for proclamation approval. This is for the Esophageal Cancer Awareness Month, April 2025, sponsored by Commissioner Romoli. Do I have consensus for this from the team? Yes, we have consensus.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, we have proclamations. No, we have a presentation. We have a very special presentation, and I do think I saw Mr. Brian Jones come in. So this is a Broward County Public Schools Chess for Life tournament. So each individual school, I believe, competed from K through 12, and Brian was the overall #1 chess champion for Broward County Public Schools, and he is a Dania Beach resident. So please give him a... And Brian, I learned some interesting facts that this was only your second tournament ever. And so we look forward to seeing very much more from you. Mr. George is here, his chess teacher, chess master. Is that what? No, chess teacher. Okay. And so we believe in celebrating our residents, especially our youth. Our principal, Ms. Giancarli of Olson Middle School, is here, and Brian's father is here. And so we have a very special award for you, Brian, that says, and I will read it from here, Broward County Public Schools Chess for Life. First place, middle school, Brian Jones, Olson Middle School, City of Dania Beach. So come on up. And we have a certificate also of recognition, and I'll just read that while we're up here. Certificate of recognition proudly presented to Brian Jones for placing first in the Broward County Schools Chess for Life Middle School Tournament. So come on down, everybody, and let's celebrate Brian.
I was gonna pull it out. I enjoyed that you reminded me, so I pushed it back. Okay, what? I'm looking down there. Do you think that lady's in the white's gonna need to pick tonight? Don't look down there.
No, I can't.
I know it's
She
about
looks
you.
like she.
I know. I think it's with you though. I know she likes you.
She won't be the first or the last. All right, we always love a nice feel-good moment like that. Congratulations again to Brian Jones and Olson Middle School. We are very proud of you. And next, we have proclamations. Moving on to item 4.1 in April, which starts tomorrow, is National Autism Acceptance Awareness Month, sponsored by me. And I believe we do have wonderful representatives of the Dan Marino Foundation here to accept this proclamation, but I will go ahead and read it first. I can see. Whereas autism spectrum disorder is a complex developmental disability that typically appears during early childhood and affects an individual's ability to communicate and engage with others. And whereas autism affects people of all racial, ethnic, and socioeconomic backgrounds, with approximately 1 in 36 children identified with autism according to the CDC's Autism and Developmental Disabilities Monitoring Network, and whereas April is recognized as Autism Acceptance Month, a time to celebrate the strengths, talents, and diverse perspectives of individuals with autism while fostering understanding and meaningful connections within the community. And whereas individuals with autism contribute to the Dania Beach community in many ways, while significant progress has been made in recognizing and supporting neurodivergent individuals, continued efforts are needed to promote equitable opportunities. And whereas the Autism Coalition of Equity, Awareness, and Support has been established in partnership with the Dan Marino Foundation and the City of Dania Beach to promote greater understanding and accessibility for individuals with autism. And whereas it is essential to uplift the voices of the autism community, ensuring their perspectives are heard and respected in all aspects of society. And whereas the City of Dania Beach is honored to collaborate with the Dan Marino Foundation in advancing public understanding and acceptance of autism. And whereas to further these efforts, the Dan Marino Foundation will host Autism Acceptance Month Family Sunday on April the 6th, 2025 at Dania Point in the City of Dania Beach. Now, therefore, on behalf of the City of Dania Beach Commission, I, Joyce L. Davis, Mayor of the City of Dania Beach, Florida, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as National Autism Acceptance Month in the City of Dania Beach, reaffirming our commitment to fostering a community that values, supports, and creates opportunities for all individuals. Let's give Autism Awareness Month a hand. And I do believe we have our Dan Marino Foundation family to come up for our last photo for the evening. Thank you again. I hope the community will come out for Autism Awareness Sunday. The city of Dania Beach, I believe, will have a table, and so we look forward to celebrating our third year and their first full year as the foundation's headquarters are in Dania Beach. Commissioner Ryan. All right, up next, we have our administrative reports, starting with our city manager. Madam Manager, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, residents of the great city of Dania Beach, and our city team. First and foremost, I really wanted to extend a congratulations to Eleanor and Shanisa and all our team members represented in community development in the building department. I mean, it's fantastic. I always talk to the team about statistics and coming full circles. 14,000 inspections a year. That's truly, truly remarkable. And, you know, we always have such a great pride that we're Broward's first city. And our mayor, vice mayor, and commission, they always say, where can we lead the way? Well, today is a great example of this Class 5 certification of how we're leading the way. And speaking of leading away, I couldn't be more prouder of our Chief of Police, Chief Jason Tarala. Again, these Sky Towers, this administration and this mayor, this vice mayor and commission have been very clear in regards to the number one priority in the city, and that is public safety. To be the first BSO city in Broward County to do what we're doing is remarkable, and we're really aligning our words with action. I know that I'm very demanding because I want to deliver for these people and I want to deliver for our residents. But what is going on in public safety, Chief Jason Tarala, under your leadership, is truly, truly remarkable. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing. I also wanted to take the time to talk a little bit about Wayne Fletcher. And thank you so much to our Chief Executive HR Director. We've been able to incorporate a tremendous initiative by having this individual that is our risk manager. And I was just talking earlier today to Commissioner Llewellyn. We are mitigating risk in every single property here in our city. All our parks, you're going to see handrails, you're going to see markings, you're going to see things that you've never seen before. Just earlier today, Madam Mayor, at the beach, there are certain lower areas when you come out of the quarterdeck or some of the restaurants where if you're not watching yourself, you can hit your head underneath the pier and things like that. Clear marking, what he's doing is truly remarkable. So Linda, I know that he's not here tonight, but if you can please extend our congratulations and our gratitude to Wayne. He is educating the entire team, as you could see in some of the photos that are included here, a tremendous proactive measure. Last month, we received an email, and I know that all of you received it as well, from a young lady named Jimena Molina regarding Children's Entrepreneur Market. Immediately, we reached out to her. The video was truly remarkable, and our goal is to take existing events and augment them and make them better and enhance them. So we're going to be coming forward and possibly partnering with her with an existing program that we have, which is our Junior Flea Market at Frost Park. So taking this existing program and making it better is something that we're very, very excited about. Last year, I rolled out our core, which is Conversations, Community Outreach, and Resident Engagement Program. I've included here in the report the dates so our residents could join us. It's not only important that we're here so our residents can come to us at City Hall, but it's very important that we take our show on the road and that we're able to engage with our residents in their neighborhood in a local park. So we're going to be rolling this out this year. The first one is going to take place June 12th at Frost Park. The second one is going to be at the Southwest Community Center, July 10th. The third one is going to be August 14th at the IT Parker Center. The next one is going to be September 11th at PJ Milley Community Center. And the last one for the year is going to be October 16th at the C.W. Thomas Community Center. So we're very excited about CORE. We have all this information on our website. So we will be rolling this out very soon as our second year. This past weekend, we had a very successful soft opening at Lucky Fish, and tomorrow is their grand opening, where our mayor and our city commissioner are going to be cutting the ribbon along with the folks at Lucky Fish. We continue to evaluate and explore opportunities to augment parking and expand partnerships with FAU and the casino. Additionally, we are currently in the design phase for approximately 40 to 100 additional parking spaces. The design approval process is with Broward County. Permitting and construction will take place approximately 6 months after we get the approvals. So we will expedite any way possible, and great job by our beach rangers monitoring the beach campus and the FAU lot. Additionally, our beach rangers monitor the marina area as well. We monitor the Ask Dania Beach app for safety concerns and aesthetic issues. I also want to thank our city attorney because without her, we couldn't have been able to take this vision and actually execute it in a contract. We applied for and received 2 highway beautification grants from FDOT for a total of $225,000. We continue to not leave any stone unturned in regards to funding. We have a meeting with FDOT and our city consultant on March 26th. We had on March 26th, and this grant is for the corridor improvements of East Dania Beach Boulevard. In the past 6 years, we have sought out and received an unprecedented amount of funding for a multitude of new projects citywide in the areas of parks and infrastructure such as storm drainage and resiliency, beautification, and much more. From the historic Nyberg-Swanson completion to shifting towards the commencement of the Women's Club Historic Restoration Project, the next steps include procurement, followed by a bidding process. If all moves forward without any issues, construction is projected to commence in May. We will be completing a draft report for your perusal and approval of this area of the City Hall campus to include a proposed new park designation, as well as incorporating a historic component and an overall design that incorporates our arts and entertainment district. As a matter of fact, this afternoon, the deputy city manager, myself, and our CRA director met with the group, and we will be looking to roll this out and bring you the draft report to our city commission probably within the next 6 weeks or so. So we're very, very excited about that. We continue to enhance our City Hall campus from resiliency grants to hardening our new roof, our windows. It had been 20 years since we had remodeled our bathrooms. Very, very excited that now, without any embarrassment, our residents and our guests can come and use our restrooms and our bathrooms. Grateful to Fernando Rodriguez sitting in the back over there and his team, but our restroom, our City Hall campus are truly looking remarkable to the standard that we know that you would all want for our city and for our residents and all those that visit us here at City Hall. Commencing this October for Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest has been extremely popular. Last year we had an excess of 6,000 people. So one of the things that we're going to be doing, partnering with the CRA as we have these big Dania After Darks, is also being able to have a presence for the CRA and ensuring that any programs that we have out there for local businesses, that we can promote them and have that interaction with all those residents and business owners and future business owners. So we're very excited about expanding that. Last but not least, and Eva, if you can pass this to all the elected officials, it's been a great honor for me to represent the city of Dania Beach in the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance. And we will be taking our annual leadership trip, and that's happening next week, and we're going to be going to Boston. One of the things that I've always shared with our commission and our city team, that a lot of my learning is done beyond books and beyond what I learned in school. But I learned so much from traveling. What are other cities doing better than us? And what opportunities are there for us? So I look very, very much forward to this trip and being able to come back and meet with our mayor, our vice mayor, and commission, and all our department directors, and really sharing all the information that we're going to learn from affordable housing to CRA, some of the challenges that they're facing from homelessness, to some of the things that they're doing better than us, and also bragging about some of the things that we're actually doing better than them. So very, very exciting time for our city, and this concludes my report. Thank you so much, Madam Mayor.
Thank you for that very thorough report, City Manager. And up next, we have our City Attorney report.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, and everyone in the audience. I just wanted to remind you all that I have been providing some updates on legislative items, giving you a little bit of an analysis. If you have any questions on those, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, and otherwise, thank you.
Thank you, City Attorney. And I will tell you specifically, those summaries in your analysis were very helpful when I was at Legislative Action Days in Tallahassee. So thank you for breaking it down and having us to be able to speak with some fervor when we're in Tallahassee. Thank you. All right, next we have City Clerk reminders. City Clerk?
Thank you, Mayor. April 8th, which is next week, you have your CRA meeting at 5:30. I apologize, it says 5 o'clock on the agenda, but it was a typo. It is 5:30. And after that, you have your commission meeting at 7 p.m. And then your next meeting is April 22nd for your city commission meeting at 7 p.m. as well. That's all, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, City Clerk. And now we have item 6, our public safety reports by our very own Captain Jason Tarala.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, City Attorney, City Manager. First, again, I'd like to thank you all for your support for law enforcement, the Sheriff's Office, and bringing in the tools to give us the opportunity to really provide an exceptional level of service to our residents. City Manager, thank you so much for your vision. Again, these Sky Towers are another tool that we brought in. We're the only BSO city that has them. We now have 2. And like we were talking about outside, so many things that we get in law enforcement are undercover for operations. We don't want people to know what we're doing. This is the exact opposite. These Sky Towers are a deterrent. They're a big visible presence when someone comes in an area to know that law enforcement is there, law enforcement is watching. We can use these at large events. We can use them at our Dania After Dark. We can put them on the beach. We can put them in Dania Point. If we have a problem area, we can put them there. We can put them at our parks when we have football games. So really, these are very versatile. They have a beautiful camera system. And again, this is a deterrent and as well as a monitoring system where anyone who's coming into one of these large events, they'll see it. They'll know we're watching. They'll know BSO is there. And again, it's because of you guys we're able to bring these safety tools to the city. So I really hope our residents really appreciate what you guys have done, bringing a next level of public safety to our city. So thank you. So I'll start by earlier this week, our deputies responded to the area of Northwest First Street and Bryan Road. A victim was driving in an unknown subject in a vehicle pointing a firearm at her from a road rage incident. A BOLA was issued, and our deputies observed the vehicle off of First Street and Fifth Avenue. We did a felony traffic stop of the vehicle. We were able to safely secure the driver. He was positively identified as the subject who pointed the firearm at our female victim. And a search incident to arrest of the vehicle, we were able to recover the firearm. So he was placed into custody for aggravated assault with a firearm. Also, earlier this week, we were working a stolen motorcycle. One of our deputies observed the motorcycle in the area on our southwest section. They notified our crime suppression team that they saw it. Our crime suppression team converged on the area. They ended up locating the individual a little bit later again on the stolen motorcycle, and they were able to safely converge on him and get him into custody. They were able to recover the stolen motorcycle and get the stolen motorcycle back to the victim, and the individual was placed into custody. And last, another really good arrest, which happened earlier last week. A victim was contacted by the suspect through Facebook Marketplace to purchase a MacBook laptop. They had a meetup place over here in the Northwest section. Unfortunately, upon meeting up, the suspect had no intentions of buying it. His intentions were to rob our victim. Upon the victim showing up with the MacBook, the suspect robbed him. The individual called the police right away. Our deputies immediately set up a perimeter, helicopter, and K-9 responded. One of our very alert deputies actually observed the suspect a few blocks away, matching the description. He immediately detained him, and the victim positively identified that individual as a suspect who stole his MacBook. And post Miranda with our detectives, the suspect gave a full confession to robbing the victim of the MacBook. So he was placed in custody for strong arm robbery.
Great.
And last, I just want to touch a little base on spring break. We had so far, I know spring break's not officially over yet, but to update the commission and the manager, up to date, we've had a very successful spring break season in our city. Our beach has been extremely safe, no issues. I spoke to the deputy city manager and the manager, so we made sure we had law enforcement presence all throughout our spring break with our public schools being off. We had 2 deputies assigned to the beach at all times throughout spring break for presence. We had 0 issues at our beach. And we also, throughout the entire spring break season so far, we've had our incident action plan in place for Dania Point. And obviously we know that is a hot spot for juvenile activity. I saw Commissioner Llewellyn this weekend, and I can tell you that, knock on wood, Dania Point has been running extremely smoothly with 0 issues and 0 issues of violence. And we can thank that to the city, you guys, and obviously Kimco giving us the tools and resources we need there. But we've had a very successful spring break season so far for our city, which has brought thousands of people into our city and 0 issues so far. And we want to keep that going, obviously. And that completes my report.
Thank you, Chief. Great job. I don't think our city has ever felt or been safer under your leadership. So thank you for the Sky Towers, the preparation, the planning that you've done to make sure that our citizens and residents are safe during spring break, just above and beyond. And I know we're all very grateful for the hard work that you do. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hold on, Chief.
I'm not going anywhere.
Commissioner Llewellyn.
Thank you, Mayor. And I mentioned this to you when I saw you this weekend, that I've spoken to a number of the businesses there, and the people that work there are very grateful for the presence in Dania Point. It definitely has made a huge difference. Obviously there was a problem for a while, and they've seen a significant decrease, and especially during spring break, expecting it to be potentially bad. It's been busy, but it hasn't been bad. It's all been good.
It's a great busy. Families, couples, good people coming into our city.
Yeah, and people are enjoying it, and they see it, and it's not, they can see that we care, that everybody cares about it, and trying to keep people safe. So, but I will tell you that the employees and the business owners or managers or whatnot are very happy from what I've heard. They've been very happy about the extra presence and the fact that they feel comfortable going to their cars, for example. So it's not, they don't worry at all.
Thank you. And I will let my deputies know that, and the ones who have had their feet on the ground this entire time and have been the ones responsible for cleaning it up. Sergeant Yoder's here right now, and he's our Dania Point coordinator. He's been a big part of it. And obviously Sergeant Perez, who was here before, they were the ones that put together this operational plan to put this all in place with Kimco. And obviously now we're seeing everything come to tuition with all the hard work.
And they didn't miss a beat between Perez leaving and Yoder coming in.
Absolutely.
It's been good. So
awesome. Thank you very much. And I'll let all the deputies know your words.
Please.
Thank
you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. And give him a hand. That's been doing a great job. We love our BSO leadership, not only one of them, but up next, we have our very own Chief, Sergio Pelissar of BSO Fire.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, City Manager, City staff, and the great citizens of Dania Beach. So for the last few weeks, we've continued to work on our city emergency management plan, getting ready for that dreaded hurricane season. Hopefully it'll be nice and light this year. We continue to work on our fire hydrant testing, making sure that all the water's flowing right on all the water hydrants. Our fire trucks, they have to go for something that's called pump testing. So what that does, it measures the performance standards, making sure that our fire trucks can pump the right amount of water in case we ever have a fire, whether it be a single family home or high rise. We also do the same thing with our aerial trucks. So as you know, Dania Beach, we have 2 aerial trucks. One is currently being refurbished. So the other one that's in service at Fire Station 17 right now is went through the testing this past month for making sure the ladders are structurally, their integrity is perfect and it's all in good running condition. And we've also invested in our youth. So our rescue unit right here out of Fire Station 1 went over to the Fire Academy and spent a whole evening training our young cadets. And that's something that I can say I'm very proud of, that our firefighters here are taking the time to make sure that we're investing in our youth and mentoring them. Our lieutenants, we had a promotional test, so once the promotional test is over and we know where everybody's going to be listed, if they're going to get promoted, they go through an 80-hour long training session where we make sure that they know how to enter the reports. We make sure they know everything about being an officer, dealing with people, and that's something that's very important, making sure that we mentor these young officers before they even go out on the street. So that's something that we do with fire rescue. And lastly, the one thing I could say is I believe Dania Beach is probably one of the safest cities around, and that's just my belief because we have our safety committee. Our safety committee goes above and beyond making sure that we keep everything safe and keep our workers safe and our citizens safe here in Dania Beach.
Thank you so much, Chief. We really appreciate. Give him a hand. Yes, absolutely. That's it. Thank you so much for all the work that you do with our youth, keeping us and protecting us. We greatly appreciate you and your report this evening.
Chief, don't go. Madam Mayor, may I have a minute?
Absolutely.
Chief Pelissar is very humble, but I just want to share one brief story, and thank you, Madam Mayor. About a year ago, I introduced a local young man to Chief Pelissar, who had a passion for firefighting and just being a future firefighter, paramedic. Long story short, he took that young man under his wing. Fast forward a year later, and that young man has been hired just 2 months ago by the city of Fort Lauderdale. And it would not have happened without him preparing him for the test, how he should answer, how he should present himself. And these are the things that a lot of times you don't see, but I see it. And his level of integrity and going above and beyond is truly remarkable. And I just wanted to share that with you and with our community out there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you for sharing that story, City Manager. It is nice for us to be able to celebrate those. All right, next we have citizens' comments. I did not receive any, but if there's any from someone from the public that would like to speak, please come up, state your name and address for the record. And you have 3 minutes. Thank you.
I'm Sinead Johnson. I live in Tamarack. I'm here because we have been loyal and committed since 2021 members of the Dania Lifeguard community. And I think you all know all of us write a few emails. Is that too close?
No,
everybody writes some emails to tell you about the price increase. And we have introduced so many people from our swim club, from other friends, everybody, over 30 people that joined the lifeguard community. But then the price increased this year from $90 to $175. It's the most for 1 week. And most of us are single parents with 2 or 3 kids. We can't afford it. And we were wondering if you guys can please reconsider the price. We looked at today at the people that joined the club, and there's most places open. 2 of your weeks have nobody in. The others has 45 spaces left, and another one has 30 spaces left. Normally we fill it up in the first 2 weeks, all the weeks.
And you're referring to our junior lifeguard camp program, is that correct? Because I did get some of those emails, and we have to do with what the majority of the commission voted for. So I can let you know that we did take these fees with our Parks and Rec, and she did do extensive comparisons with other cities and looked around. I personally did not agree with the amount of the increase, but the majority of the commission did at the time. So we have to go with what the ruling of the fees are, because that's what the majority of the commission decided.
Okay, can I just say that today we went to Pompano. Their fees are for 2 weeks, but you ask for 1 week. The same with Fort Lauderdale. Ask 2 weeks for one. It's even cheaper. And then Hollywood is 120 for a week, where you guys are 175 for 1 week. 175, 174.
Thank you for being here, and we have to balance out the fees for non-residents versus residents. We'd love to welcome you as a resident of Dana Beach. What we've actually done, and we have scholarships for our residents as well. What we've done is we have been balancing out the amount of additional staffing and how we have augmented and enhanced these programs, and we have to offset that with these fees. The mayor was very concerned. She brought that to my attention. But as she says, we have to be looking at our bottom line, and we know the level of programming that we bring forward in our Parks and Recreation department. We have also never had a department with so many accredited and certified professionals, and we have never invested the amount of money that our taxpayers and our residents are investing in these programs. So we have to find a way to balance that out and reinvest it back in the program. It's still, even at the cost, one of the best programs in the entire state of Florida. So I can't talk about what other cities are doing, but I know what we're doing here in regards to Parks and Rec and those programs.
Because the one in Pompano, they have 2 weeks for 155, and then they take the kids to camps like Tiger Tail and to Rapids, and that's all included in that price. And here at Dania, we have the coaches that teach us from 8 till 12, and we made so many good friends with the lifeguards and stuff that we are feeling we're going to miss out on them. But it just feels like the lifeguard camp is going to go dying out. There's not many people there.
Well, I will tell you, and I will circle back with our director and deputy director of Parks and Recreation, but we've sold out all these camps every year for the past couple of years. So certainly we will look at it. We're never fixated that we don't pivot, and whenever we have to make a change, we will. I know that Cassie has your information, and the mayor has forwarded your email to me. So at the end of the day, we want every single one of our programs to be sold out. I know that Commissioner Llewellyn and the rest of the commission here has put forth thousands and thousands of dollars to have those sponsorships for our residents.
Are we not residents? We were going to bring, I think, at least 10 more people this year, but now the price is out of everybody's reach.
Well, like I said, we'll circle back with our Parks and Recreation director, and if we need to pivot, if we need to come back to this commission and lower it a bit, we'll go back to the drawing board and look at those numbers again.
Okay, because you increased with 90%.
I don't have those numbers here, so I can't.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you for voicing your concerns. I do appreciate that. That was a concern for our residents and non-residents, because I do know I go to the beach every day and see the relationships for the junior lifeguard camp that have grown over the years. And so I do appreciate you coming and voicing your concerns this evening. Any other comments, citizens' comments that were not addressed? Okay, then we will move on to item 8, which is the consent agenda. Are there any items that the commission wishes to pull from the consent agenda? Vice Mayor Salvino.
Mayor, I'd like to move the items on the consent agenda.
I have a motion from the Vice Mayor. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Llewellyn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item 8 passes unanimously. Thank you, Commission. We are on to item 9, bids and requests for proposals. There are none. So we will move on to item 10, quasi judicial public hearing items. Next, we have item 10. Okay, 10.1. If you would please read item 10.1.
Mayor, if you don't mind, I'm gonna read both 10.1 and 10.2 because they go together.
I would love that.
Okay, and afterwards I will be swearing anyone who wants to testify as to these items, and I will be asking for disclosures. A resolution of the City Commission approving the GMAX plat submitted by the property owner R. Roma Holdings LLC for the property at 4432 through 4440 Southwest 52nd Street, and a resolution of the City Commission approving the site plan submitted by R. Roma Holdings for the property, the same property located in the city of Dania Beach. Now, let me swear everybody in. Anyone who's going to be testifying, including staff on these items, please stand and raise your right hand. That includes anybody from the community who may want to speak on this item. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Now, do we have any disclosures by the commission?
No.
Seeing none. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Before you tonight is the item for 2 applications, PL-005-24 for the plat and SP-073-18 for the site plan for the property located at 4432-4440. There are several addresses included, Southwest 52nd Street. So the property is located in the 2-family residential district RD 8000 with a land use designation of low medium 10 units per acre, and it's a 0.79 acres. I'm sorry, 0.79, acre site size, and there are no open violations at the property at this time. The property is located east of 441, and it's within a residential district, as you can see in the map. The request before you tonight is to restrict the development of 5 of the lots for single-family homes, and to create a perpetual access easement of a 24-foot access to provide access to the lots. Unfortunately, the lots right now are inland lots, and the only access is track A, as well as the site plan to build 3 additional single-family homes at the site. So this is the property, and there was a building permit issued back in 2019 for a 1,420 square feet house, and then the developer wanted to add 3 more units to the site, and that's how the development review triggered a site plan approval, which is why the item is before you tonight. So 4 out of the 5 parcels are vacant right now and are for the development of the project, and track A, which is the access to the road, will be dedicated for easement access. These are the current conditions of the site. It's a vacant lot. There's only 1 unit at the property right now. And this is what the proposed site plan is before you tonight. 4 houses, 4 single-family homes. This is how it's going to look like. Track A is going to be the easement access, and then the houses in the inland portion. And this is another view of the project. And then the applicant provided 57.3 of the land as pervious. So they're proposing enough green areas where the code requires a minimum of 37%. As well as the comprehensive plan, they meet the minimum residential communities, providing diverse options and supporting healthy population environment. The item was heard by the community as well, because the applicant provided a community outreach on March 11th, and it only had 8 attendees, and there were no objections from the community. As well as the item was reviewed 3 times by DRC, and although there are some items still pending to be addressed, they can be conditions of approval of tonight's resolution. As of the budgetary impact, the item or the site plan itself provides a public art impact fee of 0.05% of construction value, and it also supports the recreation and open space for $7,300, calculated per the overall of the 4 units. At this time, Community Development is recommending approval of the item pending the conditions of approval to be made in the resolution. And I'm available if you have any questions.
Thank you. Do we have any, do you have any conversation or discussion from the commission? Vice Mayor?
That's me. Could you put that screen up again where it showed the houses with the road, please?
Sure.
That's good. So my question is, the road that's out in front of where the car is, that is a regular street, is that correct?
That's 52nd Street.
That's 52nd Street.
Mhm.
And then, so the lot that's marked in yellow in the middle, that's where the street is gonna go, is that correct? The smaller
That will
street?
be the perpetual
How
easement
wide is that
access.
lot?
24 feet wide.
24 feet, okay. And how wide are those lots?
They meet the minimum site requirement from the code, which will be 6,000 square feet per unit.
That's not the question I asked.
I'm sorry.
I asked you, how wide are the lots?
Okay, sure.
She's gonna grab the file to verify,
Okay.
but the road itself is 24 feet.
The road, I
Right,
got the
so it's
road,
probably
yeah,
about
the road's wide enough for
close to
2 lanes,
45
I got that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think what I'm concerned with, Eleanor, is I look at the diagrams of the lots behind it, and the lots behind it, I'm trying to see how it plays out, that our requirements for the city are 50 foot for a single family house, is that correct?
Yes.
50 foot? Okay, I see all the smaller lots, and that's why I'm just wondering how we got, the other lots are wider but shorter, is that what they are?
Their width is compatible, yes, to the 50 foot.
Yeah, okay.
So you're saying they're wider than they are longer?
Right.
Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, I can't hear her when you're talking, sir, okay?
Got it close.
It's 72 feet wide.
Okay, that's fine. All right, and then the depth of the lot is roughly probably, what, 100 feet?
It's 100, yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just looking at I mean, the lot, the layout looks really nice, and I just was concerned that it's not, the pictures always look better than the situation. So, I mean, I just want to make sure I'm aware of what's going on out there. I mean, it's going to improve the neighborhood by far. There's no question whatsoever. I just want to understand it because I'm sure once construction starts, the people that didn't say anything will be calling, and especially with the street and the construction and stuff. So I think the questions are more or less not to disapprove the project, it's more or less to understand what the answer to somebody. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Anyone else from the commission?
And then open it to the public.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this item 10.12? Mr. Finer, please state your name and address for the record, please.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Mayor. Rod Finer, I'm an attorney with Coker and Finer for the applicant. Vice Mayor Salvino. The roadway itself is 24. The entire width of the roadway is 50 feet wide, including the areas that are green on the other side of the roadways. And the average of each lot is a 100-foot depth by 72-foot wide. Just to answer your questions.
You understand, Mike?
I did. And we analyzed it. These were already the lots that were broken up, and the only way to use this is to do that access road, because as you saw, it was a reverse T, but we understood that. And this is actually the least impacted use you can do with single-family homes. versus duplexes or anything else along those lines. So we did take that into account to preserve the character of the neighborhood, even though we had multifamily surrounding us. With that being said, we think, and those couple of comments, staff has done a very thorough analysis on this. I will state the one home that was under construction was by the prior owner. We inherited that home with it being already under construction when we purchased the property, and we wanted to finish it out and do the project.
The
and
project
city
looks
right.
good. It just, I'm not against it all. I just like questions and answers because when we get them, then I don't have to bother them again later. And, with all the construction that's going on in that area, it's starting to build up and build up. And I'm happy to see the improvements that are going up there because it does improve the values of the houses and stuff, and it may improve everything. My questions weren't meant to be derogatory. They were meant to be full of information.
Understood, and that's why I wanted to provide a clear answer for you on the record, so.
Okay. If there's nobody else in the audience with comments, Mayor, I'll make a motion to pass.
These are leased though, right?
They are leased, they are not short-term rental lease. We've already said that, and we've done everything like that. And they may be sold in the future for right now. The market right now is, shall we say, in a state of flux.
Yeah.
That way. And so it may come a point where, this is an easement where it becomes the equivalent of a 4-home HOA, and there are sales that may occur in the future, but right now leasing is actually a better model.
Okay.
And they will not, we told the one resident who was at the public meeting, they would not be short-term rentals. Apparently there's an issue with short-term rentals in the area.
Everywhere.
We said we would not be doing short-term rentals, and I'll reiterate that here on the record.
That was
Hope
my
you keep your word
concern.
to that.
Thank you so much. And,
Seriously.
hold on just a second. Commissioner Ryan.
So you guys are gonna function as a HOA, those 4 houses?
Right now, it's single owner, so there's no need for an HOA. The owner is going to be, because they're rentals, so the owner is going to be responsible for maintenance of the private access road easement and the road easements along the front of the properties. If they become single-family homes, then that becomes potentially an HOA charge, the maintenance of those roads.
Okay, and that's your guys' decision?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. If there's any more, discussion.
Just another informational. So, in other words, with that street going in there, that becomes a private road?
It is. Yes, sir.
And it's maintained by the owners?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and if you decide to break it out into selling the homes at a different time, it has to go into an HOA?
It doesn't have to. We could do easements where each owner could be partially responsible with various liens or something. It depends how we want to do it, honestly.
Could they get it
but
off?
it will have to be maintained.
Could they get it off and make a little community of their own at that point?
I don't even know if they could do that, meaning setbacks and anything else. To be honest, we haven't looked at it that way. That would be an
I'm just learning here, that's all. Okay, with this other comment, Mayor, I'd like to move item 10.1 and 10.2.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Do I have a second? Commissioner Ramon?
Yes, second.
All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. I believe that passed 10.1, 10.2 passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. If I could just take a moment of personal privilege, I'm sorry to do this. I was very moved by your acceptance of autism awareness as the father of a 23-year-old autistic child who is currently at UNF. Anything we can do to raise awareness warms my heart and everything else. And I would like to tell all the other parents out there, get them in early for therapy, and you have no idea what can be done with your children. So I just want to say
Thank
that. So
you so much for that bit of extra information. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I just want to say, I could say a few words. No? Okay. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you. He said not now, later. He's like, while you're ahead. Oh, we love it. We're ending on a high note. All right, next up we have item 11.1.
Would you like me to read this
Eve,
item?
if you could please, if we could get back together, and Eve, if you could please read item 11.1.
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the City Commission authorizing the expenditure of city funds exceeding $1 million to fund Southwest 34th Terrace Drainage Project, providing for codification, conflict, severability, and an effective date.
All right, so do we have our staff on this?
Fernando, do you want to comment
Public
on this?
Services, Fernando?
It's
the first reading.
Exceed the amount that is required according to
sorry. It's the first reading. It's a big project, and we need. It's not as big as solid drainage, but the funding it has to be addressed through the ordinance to 2 readings. So it's the first reading for the funding amount.
Thank you, Fernando. Discussion, Vice Mayor?
No discussion. There's no public hearing. I went to. So I'll just make.
There is.
I said after if there's no public to be heard.
Sorry. This is a public hearing. Does anyone wish to speak for or against this item? Seeing none.
I make a motion to pass 11.1, Mayor.
All right, Vice Mayor, we have a motion and a second from Commissioner Llewellyn. All in favor say aye. Aye. Item 11.1 passes unanimously. Thank you,
Thank you.
Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fernando. All right, item 11.2, Eve, if you could please read item 11.2.
An ordinance of the City Commission to amend Chapter 18 Pension and Retirement to amend Article 4 Police and Firefighters at Section 18-42 Benefit Amounts and Eligibility in order to include clarifying language to enable the full application of the 2022 amendment as to benefits, provided for conflict, severability, codification, and an effective date. This is a finance item.
Jamie, come on up.
Good evening, Jamie Guzman, Chief Financial Officer. I'm so used to saying Deputy Director. It's hard. It's gonna take me a minute. So this item is just clarification of language. We passed an amendment to our police and fire pension back in 2022, and we kind of failed to mention certain individuals that were participants in the plan. Our actuaries calculated these amounts in their calculations, so there's not additional cost to the city, but we wanted to clarify the language in the ordinance. This is what that is about. Any questions?
No. You have a question? No. This is a public hearing. Does anyone wish to speak for or against this item? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
I
Vice
make
Mayor?
a motion to pass 11.2.
Got a motion from the Vice Mayor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Ryan, you have comment or you have a second? Okay. Item 11.2 passes unanimously. Jamie, good job. Commissioner Llewellyn seconded, yes. And we all passed it unanimously. So we are all now on to item 12, second reading ordinances. There are none, so we will move on to discussion and possible action. Item 13.1, we have the appointment of the Broward League of Cities Director, alternate, and second alternate. So do we just go ahead and discuss that? Okay, well, I am, at the current time, I am the second vice president for the Broward League of Cities, and if you guys support me, I will become the first vice president in June. So we will, but we still always need, and I do appreciate when you guys are able to come and step in and do an alternate and a second alternate. Do I have anybody who would like to volunteer for that? I see Commissioner Llewellyn.
I'm not volunteering. I was going to ask you if you wanted to remain as the director. I assumed you did, so.
I would like to remain as the director. I appreciate that.
I've been the alternate, so somebody else can be the alternate.
You too. Commissioner Romoli.
I would be honored to be the alternate.
Okay, so I will be the director. Commissioner Romoli will be the first alternate. And do I have a volunteer to be the second alternate? Commissioner Ryan, we are just so full of volunteerism today. All right. So we do have I believe it's June 7th, if I'm not mistaken, we have a table and we will be having a wonderful celebration for the Broward League of Cities, who's been great advocates. I believe you went to Broward Days, and we've had a great relationship with the Broward League of Cities, getting a lot of things done for the county. So thank you all for that. So we will move on to. Vice Mayor.
Yeah, I just have a question. You're going to be hopefully the first vice president of the Broward League of Cities, and you can do that and be the director.
It's the same thing because there's only one director, so it's the whoever's the.
So how are you were you the alternate?
I'm the second vice president now.
Okay. Okay. I was just confused. I didn't understand that. That's why I was asking. If you, one's for the city and one's for the league. Correct? Okay. Got you. Congratulations.
Thank you. All right, now we will move on to item 13.2. We have the discussion and possible appointments to the Broward County Aviation Department's Airport Noise and Abatement Committee. City Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. So this came across an email to me from our marketing department. They were actually getting emails regarding this airport noise abatement committee that I guess has been taking place. We used to have residents who served on this board. Apparently, a while back when we had an airport advisory board, we worked in conjunction with them. We no longer have that board; it was sunsetted. So now these board members, they haven't heard from them in quite some time. So they've been reaching out, I guess, just letting us know that these meetings are taking place. I asked them a couple of questions as to how they are appointed. So the city would provide names of representatives to serve on the committee. I'm not sure, if this is something you all wanted to just discuss and have, a discussion on what you would like to do with this board, what you would like to do with these members, if you would like to appoint new members. I will leave that up to you.
Vice Mayor Salvino.
Well, as far as the airport advisory boards, I'm sure that I guess, were you guys here on the board? Okay. I think it's important that we have at least some form of liaison, to come from the airport has to answer to that we can bring back to the city. And with that, I think that Commissioner Llewellyn would be a heck of a person to handle that for our city if no one else wanted it. But I remember when in 2002 or what it was when we first started fighting the airport expansion, I had the privilege of signing the lawsuit because I think they didn't understand what I was doing. But anyhow, that's what started all the runway fight and but it did work out. Then Castro worked very hard on that and got a lot of the house's money back and got impact windows and got doors. The majority of the homes, not everybody got them. I can tell you that I didn't get them. Anyhow, but I think it was important that we did have the advisory board, and there was some active members on it that did come back, and it has faded out because I think everybody's become accustomed to what we have. But now, if you drive through Melaleuca Gardens and Griffin Road, and you see the expansion of Broward County property that has FAA developers over there getting ready to expand another terminal, I think it's important that we have some form of a direct contact with Broward County and the FAA and what's going on over there, so we can do maybe a possible, every month, just do a short, even if it comes back to you, City Manager, Madam Manager, and just say this is what's happening coming from our liaison from the airport advisory board. So that's just my opinion on a thought on this.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Commissioner Llewellyn.
Thank you, Mayor. So yes, this is how I ended up here. It's because I was a vocal person about the airport at the time. And I used to go to these ad hoc meetings pretty much every time that they were held. I cannot remember now. Are they quarterly or are they monthly? Do you know?
I can let you know, yeah.
Yeah, and I know they're on a Monday. I know they're on a Monday night. And I know we had a couple of very, very active residents who were involved. I know one has since passed away. Another one I think is just basically retired at this point and doesn't get as involved as he used to.
They're quarterly.
They're quarterly. That's what I thought.
It says quarterly meetings on the second Monday of the month: March, June, September, and December.
Yeah. So I'm trying. I don't know that we've ever had a commission member that's been part of this. It's usually been residents. although it might not be a bad idea, especially like you said, if the airport is looking to expand again, just to make sure that we're not having similar issues. Okay, yeah. If no one else wants to do it, I'll do it. I'm already familiar with them, so I also know Winston. I know
So,
everybody. over there.
he listed four. There's four, I guess, representatives. There is a noise site 2, 3, and 4, and then there is an alternate to the noise site 2.
There's what? I'm sorry, what?
So there's four representatives, and they're, I guess, they divert them into different
It's the noise monitors.
noise. He has it listed as noise sites. So
Yeah, it's the monitors. So,
yeah, so
there's
there's
one right down the street from my house.
So there's a noise site 2, noise site 3, and noise site 4 that we would have a representative for each of those, and then he has a noise site 2 alternate member.
Can I make a recommendation? Maybe we bring it back to the next meeting for everybody else, so we know where those monitors are. If we could find that out, and then we can pick people from the community that are near those monitors.
I believe I'm near noise site too. I'm pretty sure. Because we have the heaviest dose of the noise, to the landing.
I can ask for like the locations and like the geographical
So
areas.
you need me or whoever to be to go to the meetings as a representative, but then you also need separate residential members, residents.
In total 4.
Need 4 of them. It's gonna be hard to find. It's gonna be hard to find. I'm just gonna tell you, because most of the people that went through this were very frustrated, continue to be today, and they just don't want to deal with it anymore. Right.
I can ask, but we are assigned 4.
Yeah. No, I know we are. It's.
I will
I'll
certainly
definitely
reach
look
out to
into
the people who
We
have
can look into
contacted
it.
me
It's,
about the
yeah,
airport
I think
noise
I think one of them is in Melaleuca. I think the other 3 are west. There's the one in my neighborhood. There's one out in Avon Isles, I believe, and one in Davis Isles, I believe.
Through the mayor, would you like the clerk to send an email to all those members that were part of the Sunset Club?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll do so. In addition to you, Commissioner, we need 3 more. So, Laura, you can please send them and to see if we can get 3 more volunteers.
Yeah. Well, actually, 4 exceeding the alternate. For 2.
I will reach out to the person who reached out to me about the airport noise complaint and see if they want to join.
I will say it doesn't matter who is on there. Nobody will do it justice the way that Gary Lukey did, because he was very, very, very involved and used to drop off little memos and photos and all kinds of things to my house on a regular basis. He knew everything that was going on. And unfortunately, he is no longer with us. So, but anyway.
So we can reach out to them.
All right, so we'll reach out to those individuals. Thank you so much, Commissioner Llewellyn. And so we will move on to next item 13.3, agenda transparency, sponsored by Commissioner Llewellyn.
Hi, this is me. I bet you're all wondering what this was about. I didn't have any backup. I didn't have any explanation for it. I didn't tell anybody what it was going to be about, really. But that's the whole point of putting it on here. We, as you all know, we have an obligation to make sure that our residents are aware of whatever it is that we're going to be voting on. And it's always helpful, I think, for all of us to be prepared for our meetings if we know what's coming on the agendas. It's gotten much better, I will say, as far as people providing backup and making sure that they have all of their information included in the agenda. But I would like to see us actually have a policy, maybe a resolution, that basically says that if you're going to put something on the agenda where there is a vote or even a potential vote, there needs to be some kind of backup. And even if it just means there's a memo that explains what it is, I think that would be tremendously helpful, and it would be something that we should be wanting to do for our residents in particular. It also makes us a lot more, like I said, a lot more prepared, and then we do get through these meetings a lot quicker. I do think that a big part of why we are moving along in our meetings and we tend to agree on a lot of things is because we have the backup for the most part and we do see what's going on. But I would like to do something so that we can actually make it a formal policy that if you're going to put something on the agenda, you have to have something for backup. That's all. It would come up at the next meeting, yeah. I did talk to you about it, just.
Vice Mayor Salvino?
Yeah, I kind of understand what you're doing. I mean, everything that's on the agenda now has backup. So Well, I'm concerned why you're so concerned at this point if it's gotten better and there's backup on it.
We're not all gonna be here in the future.
I
If you were gonna have a conversation, my concern is that there are things that come up. We've had presentations that have come up where we ended up voting on something and we didn't even have any backup to know exactly what the presentation was about. We've had things that people have brought up during commission comments where we're asked to vote on things and nobody knows that it's even coming. And that's something that concerns me because it's not, I'm not saying it's done with any ill will, but it does happen. And I just think it's better that we have it out there in the sunshine, out in the open, so everybody knows what's going on and everybody knows what we are trying to do. And I do understand sometimes things come up later, but again, if you know that there's something that it might come up and you or somebody approaches you and says that they want you to do something, then you can tell them we have this procedure that we have to put it on an agenda and we have to put it on in advance. And we just need some kind of backup. You don't want to end up. We've had problems, like I said, in the past. It's gotten much better, but there have been issues in the past where we have had situations where people come up during commission comments and all of a sudden bring up some item, and there's no backup, no information, and we're asked to vote on it. So we don't get to vet it. We don't get to find out what it's about. And sometimes there have been things that we've had to reel them in because they haven't been very good. Again, not on this particular agenda, but there have been things that have happened in the past. So I just want to make sure that that's not happening in the future. I don't think it's anything really major. I think it's just a simple resolution that just says that if you're going to put something on that where we're going to have to potentially vote for it, there needs to be something. Again, it could just be a memo that just says what it is. It makes things flow faster. It keeps things transparent. It makes sure that the residents are aware of what we're talking about and what we're doing here, and it keeps a good record for the future. Do you have any discussion from the commission on that? No.
Well, being there's no backup on this item,
I did that intentionally to prove my point.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Llewellyn. I look, I understand this for consent agenda and first and second reading ordinances and quasi judicial hearings. I understand we need backup on it, but for discussion and possible action, I don't think it's necessary because that's the whole point. It's discussion and possible action. But I would definitely understand it for everything else. That's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Ryan. I'm in agreement with Commissioner Ryan. I don't see that it has been a problem. So if I saw it being a major problem where I said, well, what's 13.3 about in my agenda review? And, and nobody knew. And I said, okay, well, I guess we'll just trust Commissioner Llewellyn to do what she does. And that's what I do, So I don't think you're going to bring anything crazy. Trust my colleagues, so I don't really see that it is an issue that really, requires to have that. Obviously, our other items on the agenda do, but for the most part, I don't see that it's been a major issue to have to create a policy for. So that's just my thought on that. Anybody else? Commissioner Romoli, that's my thought. It's law.
So, I agree, I tend to agree with Commissioner Ryan and the mayor, but I do also think that even if it did come up in discussion and possible action, I think the more information you can give people that might want to comment or at least come to our meetings isn't a bad thing. So I think it's something to be considered. And I don't think it's a huge problem, but I think it's also something that if we're going to try to be transparent about everything, communication, and get our residents as informed as possible, I don't think it's a bad idea. But it's something we should think about.
Thank you, Commissioner Romoli. All right, then. Commissioner Llewellyn.
So I'll give you an example. There was something that came up maybe right before the election last year, or maybe last summer, it might have even been. And there was an item that was on discussion and possible action. There was no backup for it. Nobody seemed to know exactly what it was. Everybody was making assumptions about what it was. And there were a whole bunch of people that came to the meeting and stayed, and the meetings were going later then. And there were a lot of people that came and just stayed and stayed and stayed waiting for this one item. And when it did come up, it ended up being a nothing item. Like it was nothing. People thought it was something much more controversial than it was. And it really wasn't. Those are the kind of things that I'm looking to avoid as well. It's not just a matter of people bringing something up that we don't have the information for, but trying to keep it so that people aren't in a position where they think something maybe bad is going to happen or something, extreme is going to happen, and it's really not. So it's an informational thing more than anything. I don't think it takes much to just have a memo put together and just attach it as backup just to say what it's about. And I think it is something that it will make us all better in the long run. It makes us more organized. It also helps us to make sure that we are providing as much information as we can in advance, just so that we can make sure we know what's going on. And it does happen on occasion. It actually happened not too long ago with a presentation that was just done, like 2 meetings ago, I think it was, when the item looked like one thing, and then the person came and presented, and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I know that much. And it was fine, but it just didn't, I wasn't expecting the presentation to be what it was. So it does still happen. And again, it's even if we're all doing the best that we can up here to try to be helpful with each other and help each other out, that's not always the case. And things change every couple of years. And it's just, I just want to make sure that we're being consistent from beginning to end and that we have all the information. It also helps staff get prepared for these meetings. So anyway, that's my last little argument.
Thank you, Commissioner Llewellyn. I don't see any further comment from the commission, so we will move on to item 14. We have no appointments on this agenda. We will move on to commission comments, item 15. We will start with Commissioner Llewellyn.
Our vice mayor is in quite the mood tonight. Anyway, very excited to see the new towers that we saw right before we came in tonight. I'm glad to see them. I think they're going to make a huge difference with all the new technology, and definitely continuing to keep our city safe, which is a big priority. Also, I don't know if you all saw, but well, 2 things. We had the little service, the tree service for Logan last week. I know a couple people were out of town, so they weren't able to attend, but it was very nice, and it's nice to see people continuing to plant trees to remember loved ones. And it happened to be in the same park where my mother's tree is, which it was nice to be able to take some time and take a walk around and see how things were going over there as well. The other thing was I got a phone call about our teen program and the teens collecting socks for the homeless out of the blue. They collected the socks, and so we got BSO involved, and they came to pick up the socks. The homeless outreach team, Deputy Reyes, came with a gentleman who is a CSA. Is that what it is? Community Service Aid. And it was really, everybody was really amazed. They had 3 big boxes full of socks for the homeless, which was really good, and it was a good opportunity to explain to the kids about homelessness and the importance of helping and giving back and investing in your community. So I thought it was a nice opportunity to see how we invest in our kids by having these programs and then seeing the kids learning from that and investing in other things for the rest of the community. And it was nice to see all the different departments working together as well. I don't really have anything else tonight, so I'm going to cut it short and say thank you and have a good night.
Thank you, Commissioner Llewellyn, and we will move on to Commissioner Romoli.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no comments tonight. Everyone have a good evening. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Commissioner Romoli. We will move on then to Commissioner Ryan.
All right, tomorrow's April Fool's. Kids, make sure you play a little joke on your parents if you can. And parents, same thing to the kids. All right. It's just great to see the city functioning well with the administrative meetings that we've had. discussing our progress. It was an honor to be with the commission over the weekend for our strategic planning. I thought it went very well, and it was very well organized. Thank you to Lyle and our management for getting that lined up. And yeah, police and fire are staying ahead of the curve. We just saw that today with our towers towed by our new high water trucks.
Alright.
So that's some high quality equipment over there for BSO and our fire department. We stay ahead of the curve with them as well. And I just want to give a nice little story about our community helping each other. We have our two American Legion posts. We have 209 and 304. And 209, their flagpole was broken. They didn't have a rope on it. So the commander over at post 304 and his XO went over there and they replaced the line and they put up a new flag for 209. So it's just great to see our community working together in that regard. And with that, no more comments. Have a good night.
Thank you, Commissioner Ryan, and we will move on to Vice Mayor Salvino.
Thank you, Mayor. I haven't done a whole lot, but I know we did a couple of ribbon cuttings today. We were at the patch, and the patch looked great. Lucky Fish, you guys are having a ribbon cutting tomorrow night. They had the restaurant's beautiful down there. The sock giveaway, Lori took them out of Joe's, but they didn't take them because they had holes in them. I just thought I'd add a little. I'm trying to keep my humor up. I did lose somebody very close to me today, and just trying to keep my mojo up. So with that, everybody have a good evening.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. And I will try to be brief as well. We did have a wonderful celebration for St. Patrick's Day and March birthdays with the social seniors. I want to give a shout out to the entire staff over at PJ Miller, who's doing just a wonderful job with our seniors group there. They are just pleased beyond the moon with everything that's going on. I was also, I took a tour of the port, the actual port. I got to see where Dania Beach's 10% is within Port Everglades and kind of watch the whole process. So that was it's very important for me to be able to see when I talk about our position and the city of Dania Beach being the gateway between the airport and seaport to actually go through and have an in-depth tour of the port. So that was a wonderful experience along with the executive board of the Broward League of Cities and the port director, Michael. Next, this was a long week, went to Legislative Action Days in Tallahassee from Sunday to it came back Thursday morning because I was in MIA. And I really want to thank Eve once again for breaking down those bills. I was able to see our lobbyists there. And there is strength in numbers, just like when we go with our city team. When you show up in person and you go see your state senators, you go see your state reps. It was my first time being able to stand up and wave in opposition to the bills that were going to affect our city. And when you have 30 to 40 mayors and elected officials coming together to say that we oppose this bill for our city. We're the ones with the boots on the ground. This is going to impact our city in a negative way. It really does make a difference. So I want to thank the Florida League of Cities. Thank you to the Broward League of Cities and all who participated in Legislative Action Days. I am looking forward to the Blues and Barbecues on April the 12th. That's coming up. That's always a fun one. So if you guys can get up and get out, we will be doing Blues and Barbecues on April 12th. I'm also looking forward to Earth Day, which we have a new pirate theme this year. So it's Pirates for Pristine Beach, and we will be going around collecting trash in order to preserve and protect our treasure, which is the beach. I also want to thank the city manager and staff for doing a great job with the strategic planning update. It was a long Saturday, but we got things done, and I like when we're able to work as a team in order to create a wonderful strategic plan that's going to move our city forward through 2030 now. So we are rocking and rolling. So with that, I will bid you all a wonderful adieu and good night. This meeting is adjourned. I told you. Yeah, I know. I used to see him in your list